Hello, my name is Grian, and today we're back with another Building Your Comments. As you can see, the world is full of really random stuff. So, without further ado, let's get straight into it. So the first comment today is by Bandy Brown, who says, build peanut butter and jelly having a wizard's duel. We've gotten to the point in this series where I actually have sections where I keep certain things. All of the Harry Potter stuff is at this end of the world. So I've just added a glass jar of peanut butter, which by the way I've never had in my life, holding a wizard's wand. I now need to make the jelly, so I'm equally going to make this a jar just full of a different colour with a different colour lid to try and distinguish these two things. Peanut butter and jelly is actually quite an American thing, so I've never had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, although I probably should try one. So what I was going to do here is they're having a wizard's duel, so I wanted some kind of action. So what I've done is got the jelly's mouth open with a slug coming out of it and him sort of jetting his magic at his face, and the other guy that was just about to cast a spell with his wand in the air failing to produce a spell in time. So his magic is sort of like going up into the air because he failed to do it. So I've sort of got an action scene here of the wizard's duel going on, and the other guys made him eat slugs, which I thought was a nice homage to the Chamber of Secrets. So let's move on to the next comment. Lily Huffman says, build tortoise as a tortoise. Hashtag build this comment. Well, you know what, Lily? I think I will. If anyone doesn't know, Tortoise is my friend on YouTube, and you can see him in loads of my videos where we do random gameplay stuff. So I think it's about time he was added to this world in some form or another. So I'm just going to make this turtle. And originally, I was going to just stick Tortoise's head on it, his Minecraft head, but then I thought I'd actually integrate his face into this tortoise altogether. So I've just got to make a shell, and it was surprisingly difficult to try and get a natural shape, having never made one of these before, but the rules of building your comments is that you get one chance and one chance only. Sorry about the floor, I was trying to show you the underside of the tortoise. There we go. So we've got a shell, we've got 4 legs, and now it's time to do the all-important face. And I thought I was going to make his original Minecraft skin on top of it, but it looks kind of weird. So I thought I would just sort of put his eyes and mouth onto the head of the tortoise. However, of course, I needed to make the head big enough for that to work, since his eyes and mouth go so wide. Anyway, I think this build came out really nicely, and it's not every day you have to build one of your best friends as an animal on a Minecraft world, but I guess today is just one of those days. Anyway, I think this is pretty cool. It's amazing what you can do with just a few simple coloured blocks. These clay are so good for making builds like this. Anyway, let's move on to the next comment. We've got quite a few to go through today. Ivan Coda says, build a potato with glasses! Well, first of all, Ivan, I'm not sure why you're shouting, but this was a fairly simple comment. I've done loads and loads of complicated ones, role reversals, but this episode I've kind of tried to stray away from the weird ones. I've gone for some more simple comments today. So, building a potato was odd. I had to choose colours that matched, and that was pretty much the closest I could get to, the 2 different kinds of wood. But of course this is building your comments, so I have to add those legs and arms, and I wanted to have it sort of prancing around, looking like it was skipping through the field of random comments, and then adding some glasses really tied in the whole build together. So even though this was a comment shouted at me and it was incredibly simple, I think it came out really nicely in the end. My style of build for building your comments has evolved from just building the thing itself, but always adding these legs and arms and making it seem like these things are alive. It's just something that I really enjoy doing. So I did want to move his leg over 1 block just to complete that, and I think he's a great addition to our world. But now, my favourite comment of today's, Foxy Lover says, build a pug disguised as Batman. Now, the reason this is my favourite build is because, and I don't like to toot my own horn, the pug that I made surprised even me. I thought it looked really good, like the proportions of the animal were genuinely good. I did look up a picture of a pug to make sure that I got it right, but building organics in Minecraft is incredibly difficult, and I thought I did a rather good job. However, when I had to add the Batman cowl, it kind of ruined it. Anyway, so I was going to add the little face, and I thought spruce wood worked pretty well for his little jowls and his ears going over his eyes. Anyway, look at that. That is the pug on its own. I think the proportions worked really well. It's even got the little curly tail. He's just the right color. Alright, I'm gonna stop bragging about this build. It's probably my favorite one in the entire world so far. But now we need to kind of ruin it and add a Batman cowl on top. So it was kind of difficult because his face is so layered to try and get that pug-like manner. I had to move his eyes back to get it to work. So anyway, that is the pug itself. What do you think? Probably not my favorite anymore, but I thought it was pretty nice. So let's move on to the next comment, which is build a T-Rex trying to get cornflakes, but his arms are too small, from Mr. D529. Well, making a T-Rex is not easy. As I said earlier, building organics is one of the more tougher things to do in Minecraft. It's incredibly different from making structures like houses, which is what I'm used to doing. Doing this Building Your Comments series has really taken me out of my comfort zone in general, but making a T-Rex with lots of complicated leg work and tail work and body work, getting the proportions right is tough, especially with the sort of scale that I work at. However, I thought I did a pretty good job tackling this. Again, I'm doing the same as the tortoise by adding loads of just the same block to get the shape that I want, which is generally how these organics work. So the T-Rex itself was a challenge, and I added loads of teeth in the quartz block, just inside his mouth, and I tried not to make him scary in any way. After all, he is only after a bowl of cornflakes. So I made a little table and a very simple flat looking bowl with some cornflakes, but of course he can't get there, so he's just shedding a little tear. I added some glass there to make it look like he's sad. It actually makes such a huge difference. He looked so happy before, but just those few blocks of blue glass have just set this whole build into motion. And that's it for that comment. So let's move on to the next one by Fantastic Jurassic, who said, build the Elmo that you drew badly. Now what he's referencing is another video that I made with Tortoise where we draw things from memory, and one of the themes was to draw Elmo. Now I have this fantastic power to draw things that give you nightmares. So this is what it looked like when I was finished drawing Elmo. It's not good, and I'm not proud. A lot of people think that because I can build in Minecraft that I should naturally be good at drawing. That's not true. I'm an awful artist. Hey, I can place blocks down in video games, but when it comes to drawing with a pen and paper, definitely not. So that's what I have to build today, the Elmo, which I feel I've captured quite nicely. I've even got that little bit on his cheek that's sticking out in the original picture, but it's not quite as terrifying. It doesn't induce nightmares quite as much. I think I actually built the picture of Elmo better than I drew the picture of Elmo, if that makes sense. Anyway, it's just one colour, and it's definitely got that odd shape and all the weird different proportions. Let's never visit that again, although it's kind of dominating the world right now. Almost regret it. So let's move on to the final comment of today. Luke XD says, build a worm getting eaten by an apple. This is a classic role reversal, and it is the only one of today's episode. I do want to start straying away from these kind of comments, but I like this one because it was a nice simple one to finish on today. So the worm was kind of easy. It's the skin colored type thing, and then got that little pink bit because those worms have rings round them, and then building an apple, which actually ended up looking more like a tomato. My bad. But I wanted to make him angry, like he was like chasing the worm and the worm's like trying to squiggle away. He's like, ah! Well, anyway, that is the last build of today. So this is a good opportunity to tell you how you can get your comments built in this world, and it's actually very simple. All you gotta do is leave a comment down below, but it's very, very important that you leave a good comment, something that's doable. I can't be building mountains and entire countries. You've got to think carefully, something funny, something witty. Try and stray away from the role reversals now, come up with something truly unique. This world is full of your ideas, and I want to fill it even more. So, thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to upvote some of the comments that other people leave that you want to see. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Goodbye.